It's not just pubs and restaurants that will be affected. Are you?
I was just looking at where Sean is next, wondering whether he's going to go for a dip. All will be explained.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about holidays right now. Sean, morning to you. Don't dive in as yet.
Morning. No, I won't be. Mainly because it's a natural pool and it's a bit chilly this time of the morning. The whole point is you jump in a hot tub first here, and then afterwards get your nice cool pool. But all of these shared facilities are big issues for campsites, for caravanning sites around the UK. The industry is pretty concerned that when we get these announcements that are expected today, that some of this may be excluded from that. Children's playgrounds, various things that many of the customers here, they'd normally expect about 600 to 800 customers here on a full busy day for all of them to be able to use. And that is a worry. There's a variety of trade associations representing 1.7 million people who run these kind of businesses right across the UK, and they're worried they're not going to be included. Now, what is going to be the knock-on effect for businesses like these? Well, over on the other side of the beach, I've got Mark Bebb, who is the managing director here at Love2Stay and Salop Leisure. Just get my microphone. And Mark, morning to you. Now, look about this place. It's a big place. It's not cheap to keep going.
No, it's not cheap to keep. It costs a lot of money to keep it closed.
You've got behind you, we can see static caravans, tourers, motorhomes, glamping as well in the distance there behind us. So what are you expecting today from the government, and how's that going to affect what you can do here?
What we're expecting and what we'd like are two different things possibly. So what we need a definite date to open. So part of the problem we have is with planning is, when are we going to be open? When can we take bookings, and when can we welcome our guests back? And what we'd like the 2 meters to drop to 1.
And so, but is there going to be a difference, do you think? Like, is there a potential that in a few weeks' time you might only have your glamping sites open where they've got, all the toilets, cleaning and everything internal, but actually where there are shared facilities, got a nice fancy new toilet block at the top there. £1 million.
So we've got £1 million toilet block there that we're not sure we can open. And I think the difficulty is, if you've got self-contained accommodation, glamping, touring, static, that's doable. But with camping, that's impossible. And part of our network, that's really difficult.
And so for you, what's the difference for your business? What this year, you've got staff already furloughed?
Yeah, so we've got 250 staff in total. We've got about 60 staff off furlough at the moment with the dealership. In terms of the park, we just need to get people back. The restaurants, the coffee shop, the swimming pools, we just can't bring the people back yet.
So if the social distancing was reduced to 1 metre, you could start to open those, even if you might not be able to have as many tourers and campers on site.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we get down to 1 metre, we can get the restaurants and the coffee shops open, seated, which will make a big difference and welcome the guests back.
And if we just have a look at, around the beach that we're on here, the pool that's next to us, the one I was just down there.
Yeah.
Feasibly, could you get that to work if it was reduced from 2 metres to 1?
Yeah, absolutely. We think we can get some of the facilities open. You'd have to limit numbers, and obviously it's about safety protocol, really. And it's really, it's not particularly difficult to get the safety protocol. You're going to wash your hands and keep apart. I think the difficulty is that we just need some government guidance now about when we can do that, so we can prepare the business.
And is it as drastic as, depending on the announcement today, jobs could be on the line?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are these sort of variables there? What's the possibility?
Well, you would say that if you can open a restaurant at 2 metres, you've got about 30% of your tables and covers open, whereas at 1 metre you can get about 70%, and you need 70% to break even or make a profit. We employ about 20 people in our restaurant here, full and part-time, and obviously we're desperate, and they're desperate to come back to work, but we just need the customers back to be able to open up properly.
And, for your staff here, what are they ready? Are they all back now? Are they ready to go?
So I brought 3 people back yesterday. We've had an emergency staff keeping the sewage systems and everything going for the last 12 weeks. And we get constant phone calls saying, when can I come back? When can I come back? And the reality is that we need the customers back in the first place.
And, just if we have a little look around here, maybe walk around this. Can you walk that way, a bit, Mark? Yeah, just sort of having a look at the block that you've got, having a look at the pool. I mean, hot tubs. How might they work when we were looking at those a little bit earlier?
Well, that's a really difficult thing, because ultimately you are sat in some form of bleached, watered environment. So in theory, it's really safe. But I think that ultimately we should be able to open them with some form of limitation. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. And the wider area.
Yeah.
I mean, how has it been?
Well, the wider area is really difficult. So the playground can't open. So we might be able to open that. But normally this would have 600 or 800 people a day. So we'd be waking up this time in the morning. There'd be a real buzz to the place. And as you can hear, all you can hear is the bird life and you and I.
Yes, well, we'll see over the course of the morning. I think the sun's clearing the cloud a bit now.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what more is going on around here. Mark, thank you very much for having us. You can see that there's it's make or break in many parts of businesses like these, which type of things can be open in a few weeks' time and which can't, because they're reliant on it to bring the staff back.
Sean, thank you very much indeed. And we'll be talking about this throughout the morning. Thank you.
I fear we might be getting the same answer on this one as well. We've also been speaking to a campsite owner this morning, and his concern is about the reopening, which they'd love to be able to do for their customers and obviously to try and generate some business as well, but about shared facilities. And he says that at the moment they'll have to reopen, but they'll be operating at a loss. So how will they get guidance, and places like that get guidance about how they can try and function again as a business but maintain those guidelines so that they're not crossing the boundaries?
Yeah, look, I absolutely understand that. That's why the government's been working with the industry. I myself have spoken to the owners of a couple of companies that are the larger companies across the UK, owning a range of parks across the UK, including visiting one in my own constituency, where they showed me what they think they can do to function and to work. Because, of course, if they're caravan sites, they have to be 5 metres apart anyway. How they can function, what they might change in terms of how they use those internal facilities. These are all things that have been in discussion between the industry and the Department of Communities and Local Government, as well as the Department that looks after hospitality, DCMS, Oliver Dowden, the Secretary of State, has been having those conversations. So if we are able to reopen those industries, we will be able to issue guidelines to them with good notice that give them clear guidelines on how to function, as I say, in a very safe and healthy way.
One of the other things.
Also, let's find out about whether people will be able to go on holiday here in the UK. Hotels and B&Bs might be allowed to open. What's going to happen? Sean is out and about for us.
Yeah, morning. I'm at the holiday park caravan site camp.
Doing their own hair, and it's just been...
Oh, come on, you must...
No, I'm not. I just go see a bloke called Sam and he just trimmed it done.
Also, let's find out about whether people will be able to go on holiday here in the UK. Hotels and B&Bs might be allowed to open. What's going to happen? Sean is out and about for us.
Yeah, morning. I'm at the holiday park caravan site camping site in Shropshire this morning, and it could be, after this announcement today, that the only thing this site could open would be its self-contained glamping lodges for posh campers out there, because all the shared facilities are not needed if you were staying here. You can have a look at these aerial photos we've got this morning, where starting off where we are now, but looking out over the whole site, you can see the caravan dealership right next to it, the caravans that will be in use, the shared facilities of the pool, of the toilet blocks, of the hot tubs. All of those could come into question if the social distancing rules are changed, but shared facilities are still maybe not allowed. We've got Ros with us this morning. Morning to you,
Morning.
Ros. You've been part of these trade bodies who've written this letter to the government concerned. 1.7 million members you've got concerned about what might happen. What do you need from the government today for all your members to be sustainable?
We need clarity, and for our campers and people with their touring caravans and their motorhomes, we need to use our shared facilities. We know they're safe. I've been working with government on the guidance. With their encouragement, I got it out to the industry more than a fortnight ago. We've done all our COVID security procedures. We're ready to go. We need government to give us the green light, and I'm sure this government won't leave campers behind.
So you say you need clarity, but you've obviously written a letter, you've got concerns. What is it, do you think, that's maybe preventing places with shared facilities being on the opening list right from July the 4th?
Well, it broke in the press at the weekend that they're worried about shared facilities. But driving up here today, up the motorway, we use shared facilities because we had to stop on the way. We know we can do it safely. In fact, some touring and camping parks have been open all through the lockdown with key workers using our shared facilities throughout. We know it is safe. We understand that government's concerned, but they can't leave the most affordable form of holiday making behind as they open up tourism in this country.
And have you seen, other businesses, whether it's go under, be on the brink, be make or break in the coming weeks?
Yes, we've got businesses on the edge now. The small ones we're really, really worried about. They need their customers back. They've had no money in since lockdown. They've still had their costs ongoing, and we've lost half the season already. We need to get the summer back.
Ros, well, thank you. We'll see what the announcement comes up with today, and that will make a difference to the kind of things that people will be able to do. We've got Mark here with us this morning, who's been hosting us, owns and runs the whole holiday park here. Mark, customer calls you up today and says, Right, what's going to be the difference here? I know you've got glamping lodges, but you've got pools and playgrounds and hot tubs.
Well, we'd hope, we're pretty sure with a good win we can get all the accommodation open. What we're really worried about are the facilities, the pool, the hot tubs, the wash block, all that type of thing. We just don't know.
And in terms of the business almost behind the scenes, the workers you've got, the investment that you've put in, what's on the line for you here?
I suppose ultimately jobs. We've got to get back open to be able to get some money coming back through the tills.
And in terms of the the facilities that are available here now, do you think that with 1 metre social distancing, if that comes in today, you could be fully up and running and fully within guidelines?
Yeah, absolutely. We're pretty sure we can do it with 1 metre, but there's one thing we can definitely have, and that's fresh air and these views. So we're guaranteed for that. And as much as we want everything to open, the government have got a job to do, and we will work with them to do what we can the very best way we can.
And for you, how's it been?
Oh, it's like a roller coaster. It's very difficult to read the business going forward. You've got staff asking you what you're going to do. They're worried about their jobs. It's just really difficult. But all you can do is do your best every day, and you get on, and we'll get through it.
Well, Mark, good luck with the announcement today. It feels like we'd be wishing a lot of people that, because it is make or break the detail of that. And as any good Midlander knows, a bit of a holiday with the reeking in the background, you can't beat that.
And also, there is sunshine on the way, but this week we're going to have to wait, aren't we? Thank you, Sean.